Well, welcome back to another amazing day here at M&M Model Railways. Train layout, that is. In the last video, you seen me put the black asphalt top down and then aged it with a little bit of my 150 grit sandpaper. So what we're going to start working on in this video is we're going to work on putting in our accents for our sidewalks, and also we got to mark our curbs. So let me kind of show you in this picture what I'm doing. I'll also put a image of this on the screen so you can see it too. So we actually have these kind of curbs down our main street in the town we live in. So we got to access this curb line right here. And then the sidewalk has relief cuts going through it too. So you can see it more or less in this bottom picture here. That's relief cuts. So that's what we're working on, and I'm going to be referring to the pictures. And the corner pictures of the this piece that we juded out there. That's what this is looking like. You can also see a picture on your screen now. So that white spot that you're seeing in there, we're going to try to duplicate that and do all them colors. But right now we want to look at the visual marks of where our curbs are going to be at. And so when I establish my curb, I take a piece like this. This is a smoother, and then take my X-Acto knife and just make that mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on a different tripod and give you a zoom-in look on what I'm doing here so you can get the idea. So please watch these messages, and you're going to see an update of our model train layout from May of 2021 to our current layout position now. So keep watching. Here we're on this side now. I'm going to start up against this edge here. You can make a line on both sides. I just poured this sidewalk, repoured this one today, so I think it helps to do it like within 20-30 minutes after you pour the stuff on it. Now I'm going to turn around and do it from this side of the sidewalk. May not be too noticeable now, but it will be noticeable after we get it painted and we weather it with our weathering effects. You'll be able to see these a lot better. All right, now let's get this one done here. Well, you can see this one I just poured. Should say re-poured. Those lines coming out a lot better now. Well, we got it all, my friends. Now what we need to do is we need to establish our curb. So this piece is a pretty good straight edge. And that's it for the curbs. Well, I'm getting to a point where it's time to put my curb lines in here. So I wanted to show you a little bit on how I do the curb lines. Got everything done around here. This is what I'm talking about. So where the ramps come up at right here, there's a handicap ramp that goes down to the street there. There is a groove that comes up this way. So in order to establish that, first thing we want to do is this one comes around the circle. So what I want to do is I want to just freehand this, and then this one comes straight. All I'm doing is just scribing the edge. Then this one here is going to come around. All we're doing is putting in tiny lines, people. We're not trying to create a curve. We're just putting in an accent line. Okay, so now we got to make this line that comes up this way. And so I just set my straight edge there, see? And then I just scribe that straight edge. Try to do that on both sides. And then we got to do this little ramp coming down this way as well. We got to bring that curve back. Now, these lines come in here into the center, but there's also a line that comes around the this outside circle. Because this is N scale, what I did to put that outside circle on there, I've got a chapstick lid. I traced around it to get that red circle. And to do that little inside circle on N scale, I have a really small screwdriver, and that little edge there is my inside edge. So I just drew around it with my pencil to establish that line. We're going to try to duplicate all of this in here, okay? So what I want to do now is I want to go around my outside circle. with cutting in that little edge. When this gets painted and weathered, those edges are going to pop out. They also have an edge coming around that little small circle. Be very, very slow with this. You do not want to break that out. All you're doing is tracing around your circle. Okay, now the approach ramp here has little grooves in it. So I'm going to take our edge and make it straight across there and make those grooves. Trust me, you're going to see these things when we highlight this. Very, very gentle. Don't try to cut in really, really hard on it. Just barely crease it. Okay. So that's how we cut in these lines. I've done these. So I'm going to have to go and do these 3 circles and then trace my area. And then as soon as that's done, we'll vacuum it all up again, and then we need to establish this concrete edge here. Let me show you these pictures. See, these pictures, the concrete edge goes all the way around it. See this concrete edge here? We will be establishing that, but I want to show you how I'm going to do that. So keep watching. I'm going to go ahead and finish edging these things and get my lines in there. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how we're going to get this line in here. Then we're going to start painting, but there's a special thing that we got to do in order to make this work. So keep watching. Well, I got that ready to do the outside edge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to tape this off, because we want to establish this concrete edge, and it also has to have a line cut in it. But we also need a straight line for painting it. So what I've done, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take my masking tape here, and I'm going to get the tape right up against that edge. It's got to get painted. And it also has to be up against this outside edge of these sidewalks that come down. So you wait long enough. Make sure that your plaster that you smooth it that you put on your roads is not going to come off. Put this little piece right here as close as I can. Now this part is the one that's the most critical, and as you can tell on our curve here, it does go all around that curve. So here's the outside edge of the curve. So this little approach right here is that one right there. Okay, so how am I going to do that? You know, I thought about that, thought about it. How do I get that straight line in there? Well, the only way I can do it is to put my masking tape all the way up to the edge of the smooth curve that I put on there. Then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So we're going to do that to all of the intersection extensions here. And you want to have your masking tape that goes all around it. Okay, now it's pretty much stuck down. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, but I need to have some kind of a straight edge or something to help me mark that edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that edge right next to it and just cut that out. And as you can tell, that edge is about half of your sidewalk. Just all I'm doing is cutting a crease. And also, my wife put a new blade in her X-Acto knife. That's what I'm using. Then I'm going to put this right next to that edge. Come on the back side of it. Cut that too. All right. So when it comes around this edge, just use your edge and just keep coming around it. Make sure you're cutting your exact edge. You want to push far enough so you can cut into your black edge. That's how I'm going to do it, my friends. I'm just going to keep coming around, and then I'm going to show you what that's going to look like once we pull the inside off of there, before we paint it. We've got the mark already cut, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. I'm going to pull that little edge that I cut through here with. I'm going to lift that edge up out of there. Just that inside edge is all I'm going to take out. This comes around over to here. Very, 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 very carefully so you don't create a future problem for yourself. See how it's leaving an exposed edge? Let's do the same thing on this side so you can see it a little bit better in the camera. It's the only way I know how to make this thing work. You might have to make a couple of lines. You should be able to see that line that you cut through there. All I want to do is just open up that inside line. Very time consuming. You need to take your time and do a good job in order to make it look right. So here, I'm just going to start cutting around it and pull out just the edge that we cut off. working. Got to take that little part out right there. And there you have it, my friends. That's how to reveal that edge. Take your time, and before you know it, you can paint your whole sidewalk. My edge broke here on my plaster. It's really thin stuff. All right, my friends, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my paint and go ahead and paint that so I can pull the rest of that tape off of there. I don't want that tape to sit there too long because then it'll pull that plaster off underneath there. So let's get some paint and let's see what it looks like after it's painted. Well, as you can see, I went ahead and did the other side too. I got to do the other side of the road, but I'm going to do that later. I did do 2 coats of paint, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull that tape off, and we're going to see how it came out. Drum roll, please. Drum roll. That's what I was worried about, is pulling the paint off of the blacktop, but that's all right. I can touch it up, but I like the look I'm getting with this edge, though. Really slow when you pull your tape off. All of this stuff I can touch in with a really fine artist brush. So I didn't want to leave that tape on there very long. If I would have left it there overnight or a couple of days, it would have pulled more of that off of there. Now all I got to do is touch up my black, and that'll look pretty good. And if I have to paint a little bit more of the concrete color in there, that I can do that too, because it will be easier now that I have it established. Okay. All right, my friends, I think that's it. I'll go ahead and finish these rest of these sections here. And I'll clean up the white. My wife's going to come back and she's going to do a little bit of painting on the inside areas. When you do your foundations, my friends, don't forget to paint them concrete color too. That one. This one is still in the works. That one, I probably will leave it blacktop. So I like how that looks. So I'll go ahead and finish that up, and then the wife will come back and she will paint those circles and make that really pop out for us. Talk to you later. I believe this is where we left the last piece of footage in. As you can tell, I've got the sidewalks done, the curbs are done as far as I'm going to take it. I think what's critical is seeing it from a distance. You need to make sure that your lines are straight. Let's look at it from the other end of the layout. Here's the end that we see when we walk through our front door. And here's about my eye level. So let me zoom in. think everything looks pretty straight there. This angle is from center of our living room. That's about where I see it at. Let's do one more angle view. Here's the view looking west, from the west looking east of our layout. And as you can tell, it looks pretty cool as it travels down the county road there. I think now what I want to do is I want to take some angle footage with the buildings in place. Let's do that now. Here's the view with the buildings in place. Let's do a little fly back here. Let's zoom in on it. I think that's going to look pretty cool when it's all done. All right, let's do this from the other end of the layout. This is a video from looking at the buildings setting in our town. That looks pretty cool. Let me pan back out again. I like that look. Now let's check it out from the other end. And there's the look of it. Now what I like to do is I would like to actually take a helicopter, fly over it so you can see it from the top looking down. Let's do that now. Now as we close this video out, let's get our helicopter up to speed and let's get a view from up in the air, and we're going to zoom down on it to see what it looks like right now. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.